episode 72 of the Jams and Cocktails live podcast. I'm Brad Brock, and I'll be your host this evening. I'm accompanied in the legendary JNC Lounge, as always, by my partner in crime, the amazing Miss Jordan Taylor. And joining us via Skype from Orlando, Florida, is our good friend, singer-songwriter, Bob Green. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in live on Facebook, YouTube, and JNC Radio. And thanks to those of you catching the show later on your favorite podcast platform like iHeartRadio and Spotify. Please be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Tonight on the show, we'll catch up with Bob Green. We'll talk about his new singles and upcoming record, Back to Neverland. He'll be jamming out for all of you. We'll also be diving into the Jordy Files. You'll get your midweek motivation. We'll play a round of Name That Tune. And, of course, we'll be putting Bob on the hot seat inside the Lipton tea. So let's kick off the show with our shot of the week. Oh, yeah. Well, you guys, this week's shot of the week is a twist on an old favorite renamed for our special guest tonight. This is the Bob Green Apple. Yeah. And it is one of my favorite shots. Very easy and specific here. 3/4 ounce of Crown Royal whiskey, 3/4 ounce of sour apple pucker, 3/4 ounce of cranberry juice, a splash of club soda, shake it well in ice, and pour it in a shot glass. And then you have what we have here, which is our shots of the week. So, Bob, cheers, you guys. Thanks to all of you tuning in live. Cheers to all of you. Jordan.
Cheers. Brad, Jordan.
Ah, yes. Very appley. Well, right on, you guys. If you'd like to join us each week for our shot of the week, just head over to jncpodcast.com and click on the shot of the week link to see what we're planning, or you can see it in the JNC Podcast mobile app. Well, we're going to get right down into it, you guys. He is a staple of the Orlando music scene. I'm not sure where I am anymore. The Orlando music scene. He's an accomplished songwriter, having several studio albums to his name, including the upcoming record, Back to Neverland. You guys, check out Bob Green.
Of their eyes.
Bob Green, what's up, dude? Man, it's been too long, and it's good to see you, brother. How you been?
I've been good, man. How about you?
Living the dream, living my best life. I don't know. Living somebody's dream, I guess. Well, right on, man. As I mentioned in the last couple of weeks, our viewers and listeners, they're always like, oh, more music, less talk. So we kind of meet that happy medium by throwing you straight in there to give these people a song. What do you think about kicking off the show with a little tune tonight?
Got it, man. No problem.
Awesome, you guys. It's Bob Green.
Back to Neverland.
When the pirates come for me, are you ready for the fights? So curse the captain and his hook. He told that he took from us that night. Through the to Neverland. Wrong change, don't be too sad. If I don't make it back, you got the lost voice you can walk. You're the one that I adore. Gotta stop this attack, and I'm not afraid. I wanna wait to be here on the grave, and I won't say I'll make it back to Neverland. Don't cry for me. You keep my memory alive, and I will always be right by your side. Well, I'm not afraid. No, I'm not afraid. I wanna wait to be beyond the grave, and I won't say I'll make it back to Neverland. When the pirates come to me, I'll be ready for the fight.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Fantastic voice.
You know, I agree with Jordan. I have to agree with Jordan.
Beat
But,
you to it.
you know, I have to say that Peter Pan, the whole folklore and the story, like growing up with that story is near and dear to my heart. So anytime I hear a song, I'm immediately, or that deals with Neverland or Peter Pan or Captain Hook or all that, it's it immediately tugs at my nostalgia strings, I guess, for lack of better words. But yeah, man, I definitely want to talk more about that later on here in the interview. But just to give me a tidbit, what set you in motion to put together a song and then at the same time a record revolving around that kind of childhood thing?
Oh man. I'll just be honest. Screw it. It's almost legal now. I was really stoned, and I had moved into this house, and I hadn't like put anything up yet. Like I didn't have furniture yet or anything. And, I have a bunch of concert posters. Like it's a big, like my house is full of art. You can kind of see behind me.
Yeah.
But a bunch of concert posters, and one of them was from a Pearl Jam show, and it was a pirate. And so I was just playing my guitar and looked at it and just started singing, and then that's what came out.
That's awesome. That's I mean, I that's the story I wanted to hear, to be honest with you. Well, awesome, man. Just to give our viewers some history, because you're a little out of our normal range here, but we always love good music, and you got it. So let's introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners here in the Treasure Coast. Tell us about growing up in Mobile and the early effect that it had on you musically.
Oh man, I mean, like you're so close to New Orleans, and we used to go to New Orleans a lot as kids. You definitely have that New Orleans like jazz influence. Like, I mean, I grew up going to Mardi Gras, and when I moved away, I didn't know that Mardi Gras wasn't an everywhere thing.
Right.
So, and then there's that blues culture there too, and me being in Alabama country as well. But I was always like a 90s rock like kid.
Yeah.
Like 90s alternative was like my favorite.
Kindred spirits.
Oh,
Well, that's
man.
awesome, man. So you went to college in Birmingham. So tell us about that experience, because that's where you were originally born, right? And you just kind of grew up in Mobile, and then you went back for college.
Yeah, like my family is from Birmingham. We moved to Mobile when I was 3, and then I went back to Birmingham for college. I literally just lost the train of thought. What was the like? I was like, I lost the question. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
college.
How was your experience at college in Birmingham?
Oh yeah. College was rad, man. Like moving away from home, that was when I learned. Like I kind of got into surfing. As random as it is, being from Alabama, there is surf in Alabama, and that was kind of how I learned how to sing. Because I think I learned how to sing to Jack Johnson's first record. So I didn't start singing until I was like a junior in college. So I played my first gigs as a junior in college. Like that was when I first started singing in front of people.
That's awesome. Oh, when did you start learning how to play guitar then?
Like I took lessons for like a couple months when I was 13. And I was always in trouble, so my parents took my guitar away. So then when I got it back, I didn't know anything. So
The most ridiculous punishment ever. You're in trouble, so I'm taking away your guitar.
So I mean, it was like months before I got my guitar back. So I just kind of taught myself how to play.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, it is, and then it's not. Like when you're trying to tell your band, like, okay, I'm showing you guys a new song. Like, what key is this in? No clue, guys. You gotta figure that out.
No fucking clue what key this is in.
No clue.
Oh man. Well, the craziest turn of events that could possibly have happened to you is after you. Well, let's stay in college for a minute. What did you go to college for?
Originally, I was a art major, like a photography concentration. Like I had a contract with a gallery when I was in high school.
Knowing you, that makes a lot of sense.
And then I was tired of burnout hippies being my professors. So I switched to communications as my major. That's what I graduated with.
That's funny. Hey, man, you gonna take a picture of this flower, man? It's beautiful.
No, literally. So like the last project that really just like really pissed me off was like the professor was like, okay, so what I want is your inner landscape. And I remember like being really religious at the time, and like so I went hiking in this mountain, this waterfall. I kind of had the Bible like by the waterfall, and she was like, "That's cheesy," which, you know. And then let's like took a picture of like a corset and some other stuff. I'm like, this makes me think of my grandma. And I was like, and I got an A, and I was like, it's all about BS. That's all this is BS. So I think the next project I just made up some BS. And I got an A.
Go figure, right? You got to be more artsy than, a Bible and a waterfall, man. Cheesy. That's unbelievable. You should have been like, well, that's what's in my soul, baby.
So the ironic thing was like my final project was like I took pictures of a naked girl with a guitar. And then I made up this BS story that it was all just because, the guitar is so intimate to me. I fall asleep with it all the time, so that's why she's nude. And really, I'm just like, naked girls and guitars. What more could musicians be into in their early 20s?
It's literally,
and I got
it's like the dream.
Because the BS story.
Well, the biggest takeaway from that whole experience, what it seems like to me, is that you figured out how to read people and then react accordingly to get the desired effects, which is like sales 101 for sure. You probably could have been a great salesman.
Probably why I'm a bartender now.
Yeah, right. That's perfect. Well, the craziest move I could possibly think of for you is going from Birmingham to good old O-Town, Orlando, Florida. So what made you decide on Orlando, and what was your first impression on the music scene there?
I actually moved here to go to seminary school, believe it or not.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised you know that. Like it's always
I
one of those things
didn't
people are
know
always,
that
like,
about you. Well, let me tell you, I think I met you at least a year or two into you living in Orlando, and I could not possibly place you in seminary school.
Yeah, that's what made me move here. And then I started playing. I think I started playing at a restaurant I worked at, and then I worked with Jose Leitner, worked there too.
Oh, yes.
There was an open mic where people were like requesting his song. So then all of a sudden I was like, I don't want to just play covers anymore. I want people to request my song. So I wrote, I think the first song I wrote ever was Love the Day. And then like a month later, I was in some multi-platinum producer's studio because he was having me sing on the project. And I was just kind of like, okay, all I wanted to do was play covers in a bar. That was all I wanted to do. And all of a sudden it was thrust into that spot. So ever since then, I've been chasing down that high.
Yeah, it's basically the highest high that you could possibly get, especially when you only thought that you're just gonna be like a lounge singer, and then you get a taste of that, man. Well, I'm certainly glad that you followed and continue to follow that route, man, because your music is awesome. I definitely want to talk about pop versus soul a little bit later on too, because definitely to date, some of my favorite tunes from you are on that record. But so you got to Orlando. Tell us a little bit about your first record, Diamonds and Dead Roses, and then we'll talk about pop versus soul.
I mean, that was just the first collection of songs I wrote. And then, I think after Satellite broke up, that was the band I was in with Jose Leitner. I was the bass player for that band. And like we had gotten signed by that same multi-platinum producer. And then when that band broke up, I took a little time off and then started working on my own stuff again and made that first little record with a couple friends. And, there's some songs, there's a couple songs in there I really like. And there's a bunch I look back now and I'm like, God, could you be any more whiny? Or
You're in good company, man. You're join the club. I do want to touch base a little bit on, Jose Leitner. For those of you in Orlando, obviously, that are tuning in, Jose, and those that are not from Orlando, Jose Leitner, the James Boyd Band was his group that was very well known in Orlando. Was your group before or after the James Boyd Band?
Satellite was James Boyd, Jose's band for years. Like he was in that band when I first moved here. Mm-hmm. And I heard them play out and I was like, man, I love those guys. I want to be a part of that band. And then their bass player quit and Jose was just kind of, hey man, like, would you want to start opening for us and then play bass for us? And I was like, okay, sure. And then, all of a sudden we got signed by was it Gary Carolla?
Oh yeah.
And he that was when Satellite broke up, and then when Satellite broke up, Gary put the James Boyd Band behind him.
I gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, because I was a little late to the game getting to Orlando. I was out causing chaos around the world. Not even around the world. Let's be honest. I was just causing chaos across the East Coast. No direction. I was definitely like a loose cannon. But Orlando was my stop for a while, which is when I met you guys. And of course, I was introduced then to Big 10-4 and Bob Green and the James Boyd Band and Sugar Free Music and Union Made and all those names that with the exception of you are not heard very often in Orlando anymore, unless I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, I don't even think I'm really a part of the Orlando music scene, honestly. Like I kind of don't think that I'm a part of this, but yeah, man, like I miss playing with like Tim Springer and Liz Katz and doing shows like Union Made at Jake and Mickey's. Man, the Jake and Mickey's days, dude.
Oh, dude, we could have an entire episode just going on about all the times we'll never remember at Jake and Mickey's.
The time you got sucker punched in the worst bar fight in history I've ever seen break out.
Oh my God.
Oh, is that what? Oh no.
What was that?
I was going to say, is that with the security guard or the door or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that
was the one.
Oh.
Were you there, or were you one of the ones that saw it on the security film afterwards?
No, it was funny. I played down the street actually. I think at that Fridays, like I had a cover gig at that Fridays down the street, and I showed up like right before it happened, and I was pretty like lit at this point. Like I was pretty tipsy.
You and everybody else in Jake and Mickey's at that point.
Yeah, so like I was actually on the other side of the bar with Jose, and then it started, and I see Jose jump over the bar, and I was like, I'm too drunk to jump over the bar. This will be over in 30 seconds, is what I thought. And then it wasn't. So then I ran over there, and then by that time, like those dudes were running out the front door. But yeah, no, I was there. I was there for that.
The worst part was it was such a progressive instigation that, you know, it wasn't just like a, you know, oh, you bumped into me, let's fight. Like it had been going on for an hour or more before it finally came to a head. And then
why don't you give the Spark Notes edition of the story for our listeners? Spark
Notes edition of the story for our listeners and to reminisce about old Jake and Mickey's. Me and my boys, my roommates, my friends, we're all just kind of hanging out watching a baseball game on TV. We had just gotten like our second round of beers. Normally in Jake and Mickey's, we're 3 sheets to the wind. This particular evening, we were just kind of hanging out. And there was these 2 girls sitting next to us. One girl was talking to one of our friends. I'm not trying to name drop on anybody out there. And all of a sudden, this guy came up and let my friend know that those girls were with him, and my friend Drew Patron was
wow, way to not name drop. Perfect.
he's like, yo man, I don't care who they're with, like it's fine, whatever. And then he tapped Drew and he was like, no, you don't understand, they're with me. And he's like, dude, if you don't get out of my face. And he didn't like that. He ran out and came back with a bunch of his boys. We knew that there was going to be a problem. They went into the bathroom, which was right behind us. One guy came out, and like I was the first casualty of that whole event. He came right out and he sucker punched me in the back of the head, and I grabbed the bar and I turned around and I threw him into a table, and you know, and then fun ensued. It was great.
Wow.
Yes, you know, old Jake and Mickey's times. Yeah, and then the whole place erupted, and it was just wild after that.
It was after 2, so it was like at that point it was after closing. So there wasn't a lot of people left in there. Like I had shown up right at 2, and I think we'd already it was like that, not the main front door, but that other little door that you would load out of.
Right.
By the stage, that was still unlocked, and that was the door they came in, and then that was the door they ran out of.
Yeah, it was wow. The bad part was they left one guy behind, and he got tuned up real bad. He did not leave and go home. He went to the emergency room, I think.
Oh my gosh!
And if he didn't go, he should have gone.
He should have gone.
It was bad. Anyway, enough about
good times. Sounds like Roadhouse.
Yeah, Roadhouse. Let's talk a little bit about Pop versus Soul, because this was several years after Diamonds and Dead Roses, and you know, I recall watching the journey of this record come to fruition, reading your posts about going up to Nashville and recording with these different people, and I'm going to tell you, Bob, that record sonically is one of the best pieces of music that I've heard come out in general, man. Really, really well done, really well produced. So tell us about Pop versus Soul.
So the gap between the first record and that record, I have 2 records that came out. I just wasn't happy with the production. Like, looking back on it, it's one of those things where you're like, is this what I want my representation of myself to be online? So I let those records fall offline. But I got picked up by this company out of Atlanta, and they were just kind of like this. They weren't a record company. They were like a media entertainment company. And the first thing they asked me to do was do a show to open for DJ Hurricane, which, if you don't know who that is, that was the Beastie Boys DJ.
Gotcha.
So all of a sudden I'm like on stage with the guy who's in the Beastie Boys. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So the owner of the I would go do shows with them. They would take me on a tour bus to go do shows. And the owner of the company was like, hey man, I think you do really well in the country music world. And I was just kind of like, I don't like country music, man. It's not my thing. He's like, you don't have to like it. Like, you can just write it. Like, all these people, like all these big stars, they don't write their own songs. I didn't know that.
It's true. Yeah.
So I didn't know any of that. So he was like, hey, go home. And part of their funding came from they would teach at Full Sail. So like part of me being signed with them and them doing stuff for me was I had to be a part of these classes. So like I had to do a co-write in front of a class, and then he was like, all right, we're gonna have a pitch meeting. I need you to go home and write me 5 pop country tunes. And we're gonna make work tapes of them on Monday, and then on Tuesday you have a pitch meeting. And I'm like, my first attempt, I had a solid bite at a pitch meeting, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I get this. I've analyzed it pretty well. Like I can do this. So started listening to country music, started like finding like old school soulful country that I really dug. People like Stapleton, Jason Isbell, like Sturgill Simpson, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, love them.
Yeah, so I was like, well, that company kind of bounced on me out of nowhere. Like, they're like, yeah, we really like this tune this guy wrote. Like, I could pitch this to Florida Georgia Line. I could pitch it to Luke Bryan. I'm just sitting there like, cool. So here's some rewrites we want you to do. Go do these rewrites. And then the company bounced on me.
Oh, no.
So I just kind of like was like, well, I'm going to put out a record, but I don't want to put out a record of music that I'm not really into, but I want to show that I can do it. So that was the whole idea behind the record. Like I'll do a record of like half like kind of soulful, old school kind of country feel, and then a record of half like, you know, pop country.
It was, I'm telling you, Bob, it was great, man. I listened to it on repeat when it came out. Was 2016 when that record came out?
Yeah, I think it was about 5 years ago, because the little Facebook memory came up that I was doing a Kickstarter for that record 5 years ago.
Dude, I tell you what, I don't know if I'd remember anything if I didn't have Facebook memories. I don't know what's going to happen to the total sum of human history if Facebook servers ever go blank. Like, we're going to have a major problem. So let's talk a little bit about your band, The Whiskey Conspiracy.
Like, what do you want to know about them? Like, what in particular?
Yeah, man.
You know?
So you went from being a, you know, obviously in a band with Jose, as you mentioned, and then kind of doing your solo thing. What made you decide that you wanted to get into a band, and just the personnel that you kind of acquired along the way, including our good friend Bobby Fazioli?
I mean, like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, I've been in a bunch of bands. Like, I've had my own bands, because there's times where people are like, we want a full band. Like, okay, cool. Let me throw together some people real fast. I mean, there was an FMF show where I think I put together a band about a week before the show.
Oh, wow.
And people were kind of like, man, how long have you guys been playing together? I'm like, well, I actually like just met these people online a week ago, and then we had our rehearsal a couple hours ago.
Oh, God.
So that was kind of always how they did. This group of musicians, is kind of people I've been playing with over the years, like through, you know, different bands I've had. Like Ted, who plays acoustic guitar, has been playing with me for years. Bobby, we've been in a bunch of bands together. I was a bass player for one of Bobby's bands. Our keyboard player got brought in by my old drummer. My violin player, Emily, she's been one of my best friends for years. We've been playing together for a while. And then everybody else on the record, like Jesse Martins, Brian Chodecroft, and then Jeremy Hagan, are all just guest musicians that I'm always a big fan of their work. So
that's awesome, man. Well, it's, you know, like me and Bobby go way back. There's many nights that I did some serious drinking over at Bobby's house over on Yorkmire. And
dude, I lived at Yorkmire.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
If you haven't been to Yorkmire, or you never were, you missed out on an era. That's for sure. But I think he even had shirts made for that address. Like, it was.
Yeah, man, he had a bunch of shirts made for that address for everyone that ever lived there. And I had my 10381 Yorkmere Court shirts.
But it was wild, man. His house was the craziest shit ever. But yeah, that's awesome, man. And I'm glad that you're still kind of keeping with a similar lineup now, with the same kind of personnel. How long has this lineup been together? Obviously, minus 2020 and all that terribleness.
You know, it's weird, man, because this lineup only really came together shortly before this mess happened. Like, it was kind of one of those things where I never had a consistent lineup. I mean, you know, being an adult and having a band, it's kind of like, you know, hey guys, we have a show, and you know, somebody's like, oh, I gotta be out of town for work, or
right.
you know, got kids, whatever. So this is one of those things where I had a little like trio, And then Emily got brought into the fold, and then we added David, the keyboard player. And me and Bobby weren't playing together at the time, but there was a show my bass player couldn't make, and so I asked Bobby, "Hey, do you want to cover bass for me?" And he was just like, "Yeah." Then after the show, he's like, "Well, I want to keep playing bass," and then it kind of put me in this spot where I was like, "Crap, what do I do?" I want to tell my other bass player, like, he lost his job, so I asked him to move to acoustic guitar, which is what I did. And then I started playing electric guitar, to add more accent pieces to the songs and add another sonic dimension to it. And I just love the way that we sounded together, like as a whole on stage. I was like, I love how this sounds. And Pop versus Soul was made with like Nashville studio musicians.
Right.
And this record, I was just kind of like, I like how we sound live. So let's just go in the studio and do the record the way that we play these songs live. And that's kind of how it happened. And, unfortunately, like COVID put a stop to us playing shows. And then my fiddle player just moved to Canada. That was a bummer. So that was like in era for this little family. But
oh, well, that's the thing about family, though, is you keep in touch. And Canada, why was it for a boy? I'm sure it was for a boy.
Man, like, no, like her and her dude lived down here. She wanted to get out of the States. I think the last few years has been been a very polarizing. Let's say polarizing for.
That's a fair term, yeah.
So a lot of people just kind of, I think, wanted to get out of just the negativity that's around a lot. Sometimes even now, like there's a lot of negativity here.
Yeah, it's emotionally draining, man. Like it really is. Like emotionally, spiritually, like. It's a
like,
lot.
We've debated France and Costa Rica, like just kind of like, use a change, just more mellow, kind of different frame of mind, but also love Florida.
Yeah. It's almost like it would be nice if Florida would just detach from like the rest of the states and just kind of be an island, the Florida island. I mean, we have the Keys, which is I guess as close to the Florida islands as we're gonna get, but
true.
I know we were just talking off air a little bit about your sponsorship with Moniker Guitars. I guess they closed their doors, but tell us about getting that sponsored. It's always like every musician's dream is to get sponsored by somebody and get some cool shit and get your name on their website and that whole 9 yards. So just take us through that journey of how you connected with them and what you got and what you gave and what the overall outcome was for that sponsorship.
So they were like a custom builder. Like they would build everything from scratch. So they were just kind of saying, "Hey, we're looking to start an artist roster." Send them some stuff. They messaged me back, and in the time, it was like right after I'd gotten on the cover of a GoPro box.
Wait, hold up. Let's put a pin in that story, and we'll finish with Moniker Guitars, and then we're going to talk about the GoPro. I did not know about. Maybe I did, but I don't know anything in depth about it.
GoPro box.
All right, Moniker Guitars, and then we're talking about GoPro.
Well, so like I sent them I was like, "Hey, I was on the cover of this box. Here's some of my music," and they were just kind of like, "Okay, yeah, we want to bring you on." So they were like, "Go on our site, design a guitar, and we'll build it." So I was, they sent me a guitar that I designed.
That's fucking amazing. I want anybody. It could be a third grader. If I designed a guitar and they built it for me, that's amazing. So, well, tell us a little bit about the guitar. I know. I think is it the one that's in this picture?
Yeah, it's Telly-ish.
Is it that one there?
Body. Yeah, it's that one.
Oh my God, it's beautiful, dude.
So like a semi-hollow body Telly kind of with dual humbuckers.
It's awesome.
It's got really good sustain. Like we were tracking in the studio, and my engineer just like, "God, that guitar sustains so well." I was like, "Cool."
It rings forever. That's awesome, man. So yeah, well, do you know any history about Moniker? Why they dissolved, or were they just kind of like a small custom build shop?
It was a small custom build shop, and it was basically another musician too. So it was like, well, I think when he went out on tour, I think the other half of the thing just couldn't keep up, so they just dissolved the company. I think is kind of what happened, because as far as I know.
Well, it sounds like you got a badass. You at least got the better end of the stick there with a badass guitar.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about getting
Hell no.
Max, man.
Okay. So now the moment that we've been waiting for just 1 minute. Tell us about being on the cover of a GoPro box. I know that I know because I know you that you are a GoPro enthusiast. It's all over your Instagram and your social media, all your GoPro shots with surfing and all these other things. So tell us how you got on the box.
So they started this whole like music campaign, like, and they started coming up with mounts for being on stage, like mounts you could stick to your instrument that wouldn't damage your finish, like clip mounts you could clip to your headstock, mic stand mounts, like all this stuff. And that they like started this whole music thing. And then I was playing a show and I had it like clipped to my headstock with this little neck thing coming off of it. And I just posted it to my Instagram with like hashtag GoPro music. And I get an email. It was actually the second time they'd emailed me about a photo that they wanted to buy. And they were just like, hey, we want to buy this. I was like, okay. Like, we'll send you a brand new GoPro. I was like, man, a $400 camera for a selfie? So I'll take it. So I signed the contract. They didn't tell me what they're going to use it for. Like 6 months later, I see the new GoPros are coming out. So I'm on the website and I'm scrolling down, and it was like the music edition box, the mic stand mount, the instrument mounts. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, that's me on the front cover.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm like calling GoPro. I'm like, hey, can I just get that box? Like, why do you want the box? I'm like, because I'm on the front cover. And so you're talking to these customer service people, like, no way. I'm like, yeah. Like, that's me on the cover. They bought this photo for me, but they didn't tell me they were going to use it for.
I mean, you could put the GoPro in the box and send me the box, but I definitely want the box.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Cool.
There was emails back and forth for a few months about possibly getting a sponsorship out of them, but again, it was just those emails that just kind of like fizzled out after a while.
Sure, yeah.
I can't believe they wouldn't tell you they were going to use the photo. That's crazy.
They told me that they might use it for something.
Sneaky.
They didn't tell me what. Like, they said that we might use it for something, so I thought it might be like on a packaging of mounts where the photo is real tiny.
Yeah.
Actually, the main photo on the box, like the big photo on the box. And I was like, whoa.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to find that image. I'll have to find it. We'll post it to our social media. That's cool, man. I did not know that story. I knew something about it, but I didn't know that full story.
Cool.
The biggest thing to talk about is Back to Neverland, your upcoming record. Tell us about the singles that you've released just recently. I think there's 3 out now, and we dove a little bit into it in the beginning of the interview here. But tell us about the conception of the record and what it's all about for you.
Okay, conception of the record was when you're as a songwriter, I mean, Brad, like, if you have something in the back of your mind, it might come out a lot in the theme.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, as I was like, I'm approaching 40, starting to get to that, like.
That's my ominous noise.
So it's starting to go from that like uptick of life to where you're going to be on the downslope of it. I think like for a little bit, I was a little obsessed with my mortality, and not just my like actual mortality, but my musical mortality. Like, how long do I keep doing this? How long do I keep like investing butt tons of money into making records? Because making a record's not cheap.
Right.
So I kind of was just, I guess, thinking about that a lot. So when I was writing songs, that theme started to come out, where it was like all of them were about different stages of death. Like, we're Back to Neverland kind of had this like death of your childhood heroes kind of feel. The Flame, which is out now, kind of had like a death relationship, and then Time to Go is like about accepting like your own mortality like throughout life. So it kind of like the whole record has this flow from like childhood to kind of redemption at the end is kind of the way I wrote the record.
That's awesome, man. That's very exciting. I'm excited to hear it from front to back. But the singles that have just come out are dope, man. And it's so funny. I just listened to Time to Go today. I got an opportunity to sit down and listen to it, and I have a song called "When the Song Is Done, It's Time to Go" on my latest record, and it even has that kind of snare, like, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Bob Green's stealing my shit. No, I'm just kidding. But so I listened more intently than I maybe normally would have and realized that it's a very different song, but I found it very, very cool and interesting that we would have similarly titled songs with a similar feel, but kindred spirits, as they say. But yeah, man, I think it's a great concept to go from like cradle to the grave kind of, feeling. And I mean, Back to Neverland, never growing up. It's kind of almost a, what's the word I'm looking for, Jordan? Like the opposite of that whole idea of growing up or growing old.
Like Benjamin Button kind of reverse. Like
maybe, yeah.
I mean, honestly, dude, like, it's so weird because I think like most people my age have kids, and like I don't. Like, I went to Disney today. That was what me and my wife did. We went to Disney and
awesome.
Rode rides, and it's like we're just giant kids that get to drink alcohol.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the things I miss about Orlando is being able to pop over to Universal.
Like,
and
I just went to Disney today.
No worries. Well, listen, man. Tell us about is there a planned release date? I know that there's a Kickstarter going and that there's an end to the Kickstarter coming up. But is there a release date for the record where people could be looking out for it?
So right now we're just waiting. Right now, as far as the digital release, I'm just waiting on my engineer producer to finish mixing the record. Like, the 3 songs that are singles right now, like, they weren't my first choice for singles. Like, I love the whole record. I feel
they
like
were just the ones that were done first.
Pretty much, yeah, man. That's how it went. That's like, because I would have picked Back to Neverland to be the first single, but he finished doing the Whites first, and I was just like, this song doesn't sound anything like the rest of the record. Like, it's very like hard rock kind of WJR-ish. But I really dug it, so I was like, screw it, just put it out, and then whatever song he makes next will be the next single. So he did The Flame next, and I really like how that came out.
Yeah, definitely a departure from the first single, which, by the way, this is a shameless plug before shameless plugs. The Whites is spinning on our companion internet radio show, JNC Radio, which plays 24 hours a day. So you are featured on there, Mr. Green.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. I really did like Time to Go, so I think that one's going to go into rotation next. I like The Flame too, but Time to Go, I was like, okay. And it may be only because I was peaked. I was like, I need to listen harder to this.
I'm going to have to listen to them side by side now. Like, mine. I think mine originally was just kind of like, again, it was one of those things where I was just screwing around with my guitar. And I think I even made a video about this the other day, because I've been making videos kind of like little backstories of writing the songs and then my reaction to hearing them out of the studio for the first time, just trying to be a promoter. Like, that's the part of being a musician that I hate. Like, I don't like the talking about myself part, but I'm trying to make myself do it. But I think the original chorus was like, all you need to save my soul is some good rock and roll, or something like that, something cliche. And then I had to start listening to the rest of the lyrics and like, okay, what is this song really about? I was like, oh, okay. And so then it evolved to what it is now.
That's awesome, dude. Well, when you listen to mine, keep this in the back of your head. The song is about the fact that I played a cajon drum with a kick drum pedal, and I didn't have a carpet or anything, so I would play it and it would literally just skip across the floor in front of me, and I'd have to like reach my foot all the way out to finish the song, and then I'd have to bring it back And I'd have a little tambourine strapped to my other foot. And the early days of my one-man band show, which has evolved tremendously to now, I've gotten a lot smarter in terms of keeping things stationary. But yeah, so you listen to that and you'd be like, oh, this is a heart-wrenching song. No. It's about a drum running away. Yeah.
I met a drummer that would do that like every time. He would like, oh, I forgot to bring a rug. So he'd be like kick drums sliding away.
Yeah, chasing drums the entire night. I feel it. I feel his pain.
I don't know how you do that, man. I'm such a bad, like, I'm not a good guitar player. So people that can play drums and play guitar, like with their feet, and play guitar and sing at the same time, just that's mind blowing to me.
It really just covers up for me being so hideously ugly, and that's why I do what I do. Oh man,
no.
Thank you, Jordan. I was waiting for that. You get a point. Where am I at here? There was something else I wanted to ask you, man, before we moved on here, but it slipped my mind. I do want to ask, do you have any shows planned? Anything coming up with the band or solo?
I mean, obviously we're going to work on doing an album release at some point, which, oh yeah, that was the thing you asked me and I totally got off track. So the digital release hopefully will be out in the next couple of weeks, just waiting on it to be mixed and mastered. And then we'll upload that. And then as soon as the Kickstarter is done and I know whose names I have to put on, the thank yous, we're going to order the vinyls. So as soon as the vinyls get back, then I'll start getting that out to everybody. And then I was talking to Melissa Crispo. She's got a new record coming out. Maybe doing a joint album release. So I might wait a month or two for her album to get done. So that's the next thing I'm planning on, actually.
That's awesome. Well, definitely keep me posted, man. We'd love to come up and be there for that. So we'll make arrangements to make it work.
Play, man. I'd love to have you play.
Well, you know. Yeah. I mean, twist my arm, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, if you're down, I'm always down to have you play. Like I said, that night at the Yacht Club was probably one of my favorite shows.
Oh my God, that night was wild, man. The first night was really good because I think I did 2 shows there with you. The first one was really good. The second one, man, I played too late. I got wildly drunk before my set time came up. But I believe that was the one with Brett. And was Tim Springer at that one, or was he at the first one that we did that Songwriter round?
I don't remember, because I did 2, and I think you're part of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then my buddy CJ, my guy who did my sleeve, he's a pretty good singer guitar player. I think he was at one of them. Yeah, I don't remember which one that was.
Oh, that was such a great venue, man. I mean, the weirdest place ever with the worst parking ever. I think the last time we were there, Jordan showed up late because she was coming from work and she parked where everybody else was parking. But by the end of the night, we had friends in from England, so they had carpooled there or they got an Uber. So we all just piled into my car. And I was like, oh, it's fine. We'll just come back and we'll grab your car in the morning. And, and we come back and that whole area is like this industrial area. And her car was parked right in front of a chain link gate, clearly into a business. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad that you didn't get towed, man.
Yeah, just right in the middle of the entrance.
I was blown away. I was like, that is so lucky. Oh man, yeah, we ended up at Tanqueray's that night to see the Bloody Jug Band, and it just there was people were throwing up everywhere in the bar. You know how Tanqueray's is, man.
Yes,
it was. And
the folks from England wanted desperately to go to Denny's or something. They're like, we don't have Denny's, and we just love Denny's.
I don't even remember that.
Or was it IHOP? One or the other.
I don't even know.
So we ended up there too.
Oh, that was a crazy night, man. We should have a yacht pub reunion. It doesn't even have to be there.
On a yacht.
Maybe on a yacht or at a proper yacht club. I don't know. Just thinking, old man thinking.
Listening to your song Yacht Pub, I was like, did you write this about the Yacht Pub? And I was listening to it. I'm like, oh, this sounds like it's a classy joint. But it's definitely Yacht Pub.
No, man. It's funny. I wrote the song about a few of the tiki bars that I perform at regularly. but I had to include like the Yacht Pub is just such a fun name, and it's so explanatory. Like, you know, it's not high class. You know, you don't need a membership to get in. You know, like the dress code is flip flops and tank tops, and you know, just a total dive bar, man. And that's what the Yacht Pub was and embodied. And I miss it. I miss it.
I do too. It was like my favorite place to play. You might play and it might be dead, and then at 1:30 in the morning, here comes like 50 people.
Yep.
Drunk, gotta go on.
Must go on. Must go on. Oh, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. We got more fun stuff coming up with you here, but I think we're going to get another tune from you if you're ready. Coming up next, we're going to dive into the Jordy Files, but how about another tune from Bob Green?
All right, I guess I'll do the flame.
Oh, you're right by my side. It feels like I'm drinking alone. The whiskey may be so warm, but you always seem so cold. And you were so great when we started. I'm sorry if I let you down, but now you're the anchor that's tied to my leg and pulling me until I drown. But I'll sit here and pretend to love you. The least you could do is the same. Go patiently wait by the candle for someone to blow out the flame. Oh, the flame. You may call me an asshole. Sometimes I know that I am. Well, I try to be so good, yet I seem not to give a damn. But I'll sit here and pretend to love you. The least you can do is the same. Oh, patiently wait by the candle for someone to blow out the flame. Will it be you or me who finally finish this fight? We'll pretend to be good friends and make this the last kiss tonight. Good night. Oh, when I'll see you and pretend to love you. The least you can do is the same. You're basically away by the candle. Oh, someone to blow out the flame. It'll really be you or me who will finally finish this fight. We'll pretend to be good friends. Make this last kiss tonight. So good night. Good night. And good night. Good night. Good good night.
Awesome, buddy. Good playing. Well, tell us a little bit about that tune.
It's just based on that idea of maybe being in a relationship and not knowing like that you're not happy in and not knowing how to end it. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
I think I was listening to a lot of Jason Isbell at the time.
Oh God, every track from that man, genius and a wonderful entertainer. But yeah, saddest songs ever.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's such a good songwriter, and I think just listening to him and the way he forms like his chord progressions and stuff, I think it was just kind of like heavy on my mind, like jamming his stuff, and I don't know. I think that was kind of on my mind when I wrote that song.
Awesome, man. Make me cry. What is it? Our friend Jamie, she said, what was her quote? She was like, I don't feel good until you feel bad, or something like that. I don't. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, that's her philosophy on songwriting. Like, I'm not flying until you're crying. I don't know. Some nonsense. I might be making that up now, but
All of those work.
all of those work. Oh man. Ridiculous. Where are we at here? I've lost my place. Anyway, you guys, each week, the amazing Jordan Taylor takes us on a whimsical journey through on this day music history, celebrity birthdays, departures, gossip, news, national days, and more. Ooh, you guys, this is the Jordy Files. It's the Jordy Files.
Oh,
Jordy,
there it is.
what you got going on?
Oh, so much. And folks, you are going to want to stick around because there is a special treat at the end of the Jordy Files today. And on that note, today, Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021, born on this day, in 1936 was Otis Williams, singer from the doo-wop group, The Charms. Hold on.
Reading
let
is
me,
fun.
Let me try this again. Rewind. 1936 was Otis Williams, singer from the doo-wop group, The Charms. Got it. American singer-songwriter Jimmy Jones was born today in 1937, was known for his 60s hits Good Timin' and Handyman. He passed away in 2012 at the age of 75. Motown songwriter Janie Bradford was born on this day in 1939. Her song Money was recorded both by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Twofer.
And then, born today in 1941 was Charlie Watts, drummer from the Rolling Stones. In 2006, he was elected into the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame. I wonder if Paul knew that.
Congratulations.
Give him a drum roll. Brrr. Congrats, Charlie. The Pips singer, William Guest, was also born today in 1941. They had a big hit with a version of I Heard It Through the Grapevine, but are most notable for their time with Miss Gladys Knight and songs like Midnight Train to Georgia and The Way We Were. Guest died in 2015 at the age of 74. Chubby Tavares from the funk soul group Tavares turns 76 today. Michael Steele, bassist for the Bangles, turns 66 today. Is her name really Michael?
Michael.
Oh.
That's correct.
Rebellious. She scored the 80s hits Manic Monday and Walk Like an Egyptian jams. And then born today. Be Real, rapper from Cypress Hill, was born today in 1970. And last but not least, turning 41 today is the Strokes drummer Fabrizio Moretti. Ole.
Ole.
And then on this day in music history, in 1962, Owen Gray's Twist Baby became the first single released on Island Records, which became the home to bands like Jethro Tull, Bob Marley, and U2. Also on this day in 1962, Ray Charles hit number 1 with the ballad I Can't Stop Loving You. Frank Sinatra's Strangers in the Night went to number 1 today in 1966. Today in 1973, Paul McCartney hit number 1 on both the album chart and single chart with Red Rose Speedway and My Love. Just 3 years later, Paul and Wings set a new world record performing in front of 67,100 fans, the largest attendance for an indoor crowd. Could you guys imagine performing for 67,000 people?
I'd be happy to perform in, I don't know, in
front of 67 people?
Yeah, 67 people would be great. What about you, Bob?
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
That's a
Bob,
I've played so many shows for 5 people, so yeah.
I've played shows for less, but you've done some FMF shows, man. You've had some pretty good crowds out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last show we did that was really fun was the final for this Battle of the Bands we did with 103.1 The Wolf. That was a packed house at I can't really think of the name of the spot. It's where the eye is. It's one of those spots.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Down on like iDrive or something like that.
Yeah, it's not quite iDrive, but it's one of those music spots they put there, and it was a packed house at night. It was really fun, so we went on last. It was a good show.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, Jordan.
Yes, so that was the largest attendance for an indoor crowd. And then on this day in 1979, Donna Summer went to number 1 with Hot Stuff. Today in
hot
Stuff. And then oh. Joint collaborative effort here. And then today in 2002, it was reported that Paul McCartney had thrown his fiance's engagement ring out of a hotel window. Luckily, resort staff eventually found the $25,000 ring.
Just a drop in the bucket, just to drop out the hotel window.
I feel like $25,000 is pretty cheap for Sir Paul, isn't it?
Wow. And this, all of you that keep harassing me out there, this is what I have to look forward to. You guys.
No tea, no shade. But no, but for him, I'd be happy with $25. But
good to know.
Yeah, you think it'd be like
to know.
250 million or something.
Oh, sure, just $250 million for an engagement ring.
He's been married a lot for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just going to say, clearly she wasn't the one.
So, side note, I did get to see him front row, dead center, years ago.
Amazing.
Was it amazing?
Oh God, yes.
Did you cry?
I mean, my wife did, but I didn't cry. But it was pretty amazing to watch a Beatle front row, dead center, and a packed stadium.
That would be a surreal moment. Yeah.
Amazing.
Can't even imagine. I didn't even mean to do that, but that's good. See, I'm just awesome. And then
and modest too.
I know, if I do say so myself. About myself. And then we have a departure. On this day in 2008, blues legend Bo Diddley passed away of heart failure at his home in Archer, Florida. He was 79 years old.
We lost Bo Diddley in 2008.
Bo Diddley.
Oh, man.
The coolest name
Legend.
ever.
Bo Diddley.
Besides that other one that I like. What's the other name?
Rackhooter?
No, not that one.
Engelbert Humperdinck?
Yes, that's the one. Yes. You know me so well. And then, folks, the moment you've all been waiting for. Brad, I need a drum roll again, please.
Oh, God, here we go.
So So it is National Day, folks. And as you all know, we like to celebrate Nationals Day here on the show. And today is no different. Here to show you how we celebrated the multiple national days of today is our very own Brad Brock. Cue the video clip, please, Brad.
Does it say what the national days were
No.
in your notes? What was it? I think it was National...
Oh, yeah, I guess it's good to give a little preface on that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was today was National Leave Your Office Early Day, or Leave the Office Early Day, which is everybody's favorite day, right?
Yeah.
It was also National Running Day, which is the first Wednesday of each, or first Wednesday of June each year, and it was also National Rocky Road Ice Cream Day. So, yeah, that's a good preface.
Yeah, that is, helpful.
Delicious preface.
Yes.
So, yeah. What did we have? What did you want me to cue up?
Oh, cue the video clip, please, Brad.
Oh, boy. Here you guys go. Enjoy.
Good morning, listeners. It's a beautiful day out there. A wonderful day for National Running Day. So lace up those sneakers because it's also Leave the Office Early Day.
National Running Day and National Leave the Office Early Day.
I should mention that today is also National Rocky Road Day.
Wait, what?
Fucking ridiculous.
It's my favorite.
So, happy National Running, National Leave the Office Early Day, and National Rocky Road Day.
Someone on YouTube said, running out of the office on a rocky road.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good. And Brad has promised to make a national video every single day for the rest of the year, folks. So,
Well, well, I guess it sealed with an applause.
I'm just kidding. That would be an awesome challenge. Talk about an advent calendar, huh?
All right, I'm in. I'll do it. I'll put it together.
Oh, dear.
Anything else in the Jordy Files?
That is it, folks. Thank you so much.
Jordy Files. Woohoo! Hey, guys. If you got to binge all the Jordy Files, hit us up on the web at jncpodcast.com and click on the Jordy Files link to watch them all. The time has come. We're going to put Bob Green on the hot seat in this rapid fire interview inspired by the late, great James Lipton, host of Inside the Actor Studio. We'll see you inside the Lipton tea. Perhaps. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Inside the Lipton Tea. I'm Brad Brock, playing the part of Mr. James Lipton, and I'm here with singer-songwriter Bob Green. Bob, welcome to the show. Are you ready to begin? Well, it'd be helpful if I turned the volume on, right? All right, Bob, what is your favorite word?
Fuck.
Good. It might come up again. What is your least favorite word?
My wife said moist. I love that. I don't have a least favorite word.
Fair enough. Bob, what turns you on?
Can we pass this one?
Nope. You gave up your pass on the word.
Tinkerbell.
Whoa, Back to Neverland.
Ah, good
I know where you're
one.
going, Back to Neverland. All right, Bob, what turns you off?
Shitty people.
Yeah, that's a big turn off. What sound or noise do you love?
The oven going off?
Oh, yeah, that means that there's something delicious coming out of
Some
there.
good
Somebody else said
goods.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. What sound or noise do you hate?
Kids. Just in general.
Just blanket statement, kid.
Just blanket statement, kids. Like, I work in the airport that is, Disney related.
Ooh.
So yeah, kids are going to be my least favorite noise.
You don't love the joy or the sound of children's joy screaming as they go down the terminal to get to Disney World?
No, I do not.
It's 6 a.m.
Screeching.
You sound like little pterodactyls about to rip your eyeballs out.
That's true.
That's fair. What is your favorite curse word?
We already got to that one. My favorite word. So I guess this is my favorite cuss word.
Perfect. Now, what profession other than your own would you like to try?
Do I have to be good at it?
No, sir.
Pro surfer.
Pro surfer.
Nice.
Perfect. Now, what job would you not do under any circumstance?
Daycare. Daycare.
That makes sense. Interweaved. I see what's going on here.
He's very consistent.
Now, finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Man, that's deep. You weren't too much of an asshole.
Ding, ding, ding. Awesome. Not too shabby, Bob Green. Well, you guys, put on those thinking caps because when we come back, it's time for Name That Tune. But how about another tune from Mr. Bob Green?
All right, there's a good chance I'm gonna screw this up. Obviously, I'm not playing shows and not practicing songs. Brad, did you ever watch the show Penny Dreadful?
What was the show one more time?
Penny Dreadful.
I don't think that I have, to be honest.
Okay. I wrote this song while watching Penny Dreadful. So
To be fair, I don't.
It might make sense to you. If
I don't
not,
watch a lot of television, but you're the second guest that we've had that wrote a song after watching television show.
That's what I pretty much did all quarantine, was write songs about TV shows and movies.
Brilliant.
So, all right, it's called The Next Full Moon.
I'm sorry I can't stay, and I can see it in your face. Starting to wonder if I really worth your time. I don't know what to say, since I never been a place. Tell you my pieces just too hard to find. I don't want to lose this chance with you. I got something I got left to do. I promise it won't take too long, and I'll be back real soon. Our stars will align. Just give me till the next full moon. Like kiss the surprise by the silence in your eyes. I know you think you must be something more. I'm telling you no lies. Got a secret alibis. Just gotta put away our love, my ghosts and doors. I don't wanna lose these hands with you. I got something I got left to do. I promise it won't take stars will align. Just give me until the next full moon. Hey. I promise I'll be back and don't you worry about that. Nothing will keep me away from you. But if you can wait, then I will understand your pain. And I'll be so quietly with you. I don't want to lose this chance with you. I got something I got left to tell. I promise it won't take too long, and I'll be back real soon. The stars will align. Just give me till the next full moon. The stars will align. Just give me till the next full moon. Stars will align. Just give me till the next full moon.
So that one's coming out on the new record?
No,
No?
No.
that's on the next record.
Ah, on the Future Horizon record.
Okay.
Oh, I really like that tune.
Yeah, I like that too.
Thanks.
I was just creeping that whole show while you were playing it too, like the whole cast and everything.
It's if you like horror, like and you dig like old horror like Frankenstein and Dracula,
Uh-huh.
you'll dig the show. The song's kind of about the relationship between two of the characters.
Oh,
Hmm.
interesting.
It's so
Like
interesting.
one of them's a werewolf, so
I-
that's where the whole like next full moon reference comes from.
Makes sense.
Ah,
It'd make a sense.
Yes.
Huh,
It
that
has-
might be
Like,
something
I
I'd
wrote
check
that
out.
song one day, like waiting on a buddy to come over because like one of my friends was like, I want to come over and play guitar. So I was like, well, I guess I should just screw around and play guitar until he gets here. And I wrote the song in like I think 10 minutes or so.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Oh, that's how I write most of my songs. Most of my songs are like a 10 to 15 minute process.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And my wife came home and I was like, hey, check this out. Like, what do you think? And she was like, this is about Penny Dreadful, isn't it? Yes, it's about Penny Dreadful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Songwriter to songwriter, I do have a question. Do you try to write often, like, or do you feel like it comes through you pretty often, where you're jotting tunes down all the time, or you maybe force yourself to write often to keep your chops up?
Man, no, honestly, dude, like, I think it's more of just having free time. And then if I have free time, I'm screwing around on my guitar, like something normally comes out. Like I've kind of learned how to just find like a groove. Like once I find a groove, then it's just finding a lyrical jumping off point. Like, I wrote this song and it sounds like it's a breakup song, but it's literally like there's these 3 hot sauce jars on my fridge that are in skulls. That was my lyrical jumping off point for this breakup tune, was these 3 hot sauce jars. So yeah, like if I have time to myself, then I'll just write. Like when I was in quarantine, my wife went back to work. I was like, okay, I'm gonna write a song every day. And within, I'd set aside like 2 hours a day, just throw on the TV and write. And usually I'd, within like 30 minutes, I had a new song out. Then I had to stop. I was like, okay, I have a whole full record of stuff. And that's just going to frustrate me because I still have to pay for this record.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like you already have the name of the record built in, and as most of it has been inspired by television, I feel like it's got to be something in that realm.
I think the next record's gonna be called The Next Full Moon. Like I really like that song as a single.
Sure.
And I think artwork wise, like I've already got cool ideas for artwork wise and some of the artists that I work with. So I think the next record's gonna be called The Next Full Moon.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and of course to Back to Neverland coming up pretty soon.
That'll be like 5 years down the road by the time I fund that thing.
For sure. Well, you guys, it's time to test your knowledge of popular music in a game that we call Name That Tune. Yes. The rules are simple, yet confusing. You put your guess down in the chats and comments while we guess here in the lounge and on Skype. At the end of the game, we'll be making 2 drawings tonight. One is for tonight's winner, and one is for the monthly raffle drawing. So we hope you play along. Tonight's category is pop versus soul. We'll have a mix of pop tunes and hit soul tunes. Let's play. Are you ready to play, Bob?
Yeah.
So what I didn't do was, I don't know if I let you know to have have paper or like index cards or anything available. So just hang on to your guesses. We'll play the trust game. And because we like to, there's a little bit of a delay. Oh, do you have it? Oh, look at you. Nice. All right. So what we're going to do is you're going to put your guess down on the paper. We're going to wait for our live viewers to maybe chime in if we have anybody playing along in the game, and then we'll go around and we'll show what we got here on the show. So, first clue, here we go. Here it is one more time for you playing at home. That is a pop tune, just in case you didn't know. All right. You guys got your guesses down there? Bob and Jordan? All right, Jordan,
Yes.
Let's see what you got.
I tried to draw the symbol too.
Oh, the symbol, not too shabby.
I don't think that's the symbol though, but it's okay.
Good enough for me. Bob, what did you have?
Prince, When Doves Cry.
Yeah.
We got it.
You got it. Q Roberts tuning in on YouTube. Got it as well.
Nice.
Excellent. Well done. All right, you guys. Next clue coming at you.
Oh.
A little bit more obscure. This is in the soul realm. Here it is one more time. A hint is that clue leads right up to the hook of the song. What about you guys out there in internet land? Any guesses? Internet land. Here it is one more time for you.
Don't.
Any guesses, Bob?
No. Like,
What about you, Jordan?
I put Power by Stevie Wonder.
That's not correct.
Oh.
But you might ought to keep that Stevie Wonder.
Okay, cool. I knew it was in there.
All right. Well, since we don't have a correct guess, the name of the song is Try a Little Tenderness, Otis Redding. Try a little tenderness. Yeah. Yeah. All right, you guys. Next clue. Here we go.
I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there.
Pop song. Here it is one more time.
I'm down on my knees. I wanna take you there.
I decided to forego like more modern pop songs and try to keep them in the older realm. I feel like it's almost an embarrassment to play new pop songs or like 2000s pop songs.
Oh.
I don't even call like today's radio music pop tunes because I feel like it's just radio music now, you know? Like before, you had radio music and you had pop and you had rock and you had hip hop, but now I feel like it's all just kind of gelled together.
Yes.
All right, Bob. Any answers?
Like a Prayer, Madonna.
That is correct. Q Roberts killing it over there on the YouTube channel. It is Like a Prayer.
Woo.
What did you have, Jordan?
I had that too.
Yeah.
Like a Prayer by Madonna, my Michigander girl.
Yep. Well done. All right, next clue. Right? That was 3.
Yes.
A boy's born in hot time, Mississippi, surrounded by for world that ain't so pretty.
Soul tune. Here it is one more time.
A boy's born in hot time, Mississippi, surrounded by for world that ain't so pretty.
Yeah. All right, Jordan, what did you have?
I feel like this is where Stevie Wonder comes in.
You got the artist right.
That's it.
Oh, okay, great. Half point. Do you have anything, Bob?
Yeah, I got Stevie Wonder. It's about
That's it?
living for the city.
It is Living for the City.
A boy's born
Nice.
in hot time,
Nice.
Mississippi, surrounded by for world that ain't so pretty.
All right, you guys. Next clue. We have 6 clues. We normally have 5, but I wanted to keep it an even balance between pop versus soul.
Ah.
So here is the next clue. Pop.
When the night falls, loneliness falls.
I'm so much better at the pop.
Evident. Here it is one more time.
When the night falls, loneliness falls.
Not gonna lie, song is a complete guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes on, if I'm by myself, you can bet that I'm
Shaking your groove thing.
I'm shaking my groove thing. I'm belting it out. It's horrifying. It really is horrifying to see in real life. But I
Do a
have
cover of it.
it doesn't. The song deserves so much more. So much more than me.
Oh, dude, you've got talent. Like you could rock like your own style cover on that.
yeah.
Perhaps, but I probably won't. Maybe I will. I don't know. You just gave me the boost I need. Jordan, what did you have for that song?
I had Dance with Somebody by Whitney.
Whitney. That is right. What did you have over there, Bob?
I knew it was Dance to Somebody. I didn't know who the hell it was.
Half point. Good enough for
Yay.
me. Q Roberts, Wanna Be With Somebody. You're on the right track. And because you did so well before, I'm going to give it to you.
He's feeling generous.
Yes, basically because points don't matter in this game whatsoever. All right. And final soul clue of the night.
I feel pretty confident.
Pretty confident? All right. What do you?
Well, let Bob go first.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Bob, what's your guess?
Get ready, the Temptations.
That is correct. Jordan, what did you have?
That's what I put too.
Oh my God. Oh, I didn't give you a whiteboard.
No, it's okay,
Oh,
though.
I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible at this.
Well, good job, Bob.
Nice. You guys got the last clue. You just figured out Blues Clues. You just figured out Blues Clues. Paul Robertson just tuning in said, Are you ready? And that's wrong, Paul, for tuning in late. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what you get.
We love you, Paul. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Yeah. So that was Name This Tune.
That was fun.
Right? Not too shabby. You guys, it's time for the big raffle. Dun-dun-dun.
Whoa.
We got a bunch of names. Many of these people probably aren't tuning in tonight, but that's okay because we're going to reach out to them and get a winner. But let's go ahead and put Q Roberts in the mix because he was our big player tonight.
Okie doke.
All right, and tell us how many people in total do we have for the drawing? Jordy? Five for the whole drawing.
Yes.
Wow. We got
I like those buds.
Yeah, we got a lot of the same players that play each week, so we just continue to compile them.
Yes.
We really ought to put put a tick in there for each time. But anyway,
Oh, that's true.
we're always learning here on the podcast. So Bob, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you a drum roll, and at the end of the drum roll, you're gonna pick a number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and they're going to be our winner for the big raffle for the month here. Are you ready? All right, here we go.
4.
Who's number 4, Jordan?
Kevin.
Kevin McLaughlin. Nice, Kevin. A show regular, a great guest, and a avid viewer of the podcast. So we love you, Kevin. We'll see you soon. And you got some cool stuff. And it's even better because I see him regularly, so I'll be able to
Give it
to
him.
deliver it to him and not have to
Maybe-
ship it.
Maybe some salsa.
Maybe some salsa. He's not allowed to carry it though. You guys.
Yay.
Not at all. Well, you guys, where am I at in my life?
Where are we?
Jordan, are you ready to get pumped up?
Yes.
Yes. Bob Green, are you ready to get pumped up?
Giggity.
Giggity. You guys, I'm so glad. Take
Giggity.
some notes. This is your midweek motivation. Welcome to your midweek motivation. Today's lesson is on having faith. You guys, I know it's tough, especially in today's society and the ability to literally know everyone's opinion. But sometimes you have to have faith in the process. Now, there are a lot of things to put your faith into. So tonight, I just want to focus on your plans. You've done all the research. You looked up every how-to video, all the reviews. You've considered all the scenarios. All signs point to go. But you're stalling. Are you afraid of failure? Or worse, are you afraid of success? All of this is completely natural and normal. And sometimes you have to have faith that your preparation is enough and go for it. If you fail, you learn. If you succeed, then it's on to the next challenge. Have faith in your abilities. Have faith in the process. Get out there and be the best that you can be. I'm Brad Brock, and this has been your midweek motivation.
And he approves this message.
When we come back, we'll go around and shamelessly plug all the things that we've got going on and what you should be checking out. But first, here's one more tune from Mr. Bob Green.
All right. There's a good chance I'll screw this up because it's another new tune, but in honor of being on the show with you, I got to do the song I wrote called Pirate's Life.
Love it.
Horse cousin to bed, raising cousin, we can begin to sail to where the world it ends. Drive over the horizon, sun again. By the Kingsville, smoking your breath. Send your enemies down to the depths. Davy Jones, treasure the captain. Lockdown deep, we'll kill yourself and go. It's a pirate's like me. Time to set sail against men on the board. Load up your pistols, sharpen your swords. We'll lose the battle, we'll win the wars. So no fear, dear girl, your rewards and go. Fire is life. It's a fire is life. It's a fire is life. It's a fire is life. Don't be afraid. Give it all intensity. They may write our names down in history. Don't be afraid. Give it all intensity. They may write our names in the books of history. It's a fire's light for me.
It's a pirate's life for me, mate.
I like that one.
Please tell me that's going to be on the upcoming record. Oh. It's not going to be on the upcoming record?
No, sorry. It's someone just like you get text messages on your phone. It's like, yeah, no, it's not on this record. It would be on the next record.
Ah!
The teasers.
I love it. That has great like gang vocals, you know? Like I feel like, you know, the yo-ho is solid. That
was literally like that first bit of quarantine, watching like every pirate thing that we had, like every Pirates of the Caribbean movie, the whole Black Sail series. If you've never seen, is pretty amazing.
amazing, yeah.
So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm in pirating mode, so I'm gonna rip off this yo-ho a Pirate's Life for Me thing, but change it up.
I love it, man. Yeah. I when I write, and I'll be completely honest, I'm so envious of writers like yourself that can see something, interpret that internally, and then create brand new art out of it. Like for me, it has to be like some crazy turmoil in my life to like write songs that I can look at and go, oh, this is a great tune. Not even turmoil. It has to just mean so much to me. So I write very, very indiscriminately, you know, like very sporadically. And I find that when I'm happy, I don't write as much. It's crazy. It's like, it's the best curse because I'd much rather be happy than be a miserable, successful songwriter. You know what I mean?
You know, like honestly, I was a lot like that. And then when I got picked up by that company that wanted me to write country music, and then you're thrown into that, okay, like you need to write me 5 songs by Monday. You just kind of like, it taught me a lot about detaching from what I was writing from and just write a story, you know, and find a story. So like watching a movie or watching a TV show, like you can kind of dive into that character and write a story about that character, or write a song about friggin' like I said, Back to Neverland. It's about a concert poster.
Yeah.
Like, just it's like you develop you just write a story in your head and you put it to a melody. That's all it is. It's just making up a story.
It's very cool. I might actually put this to the test for myself. I might actually try to test this out and see how it works for me. We'll see. Maybe there's another Brad Brock record on the horizon with that concept in
There
mind.
needs to be another Brad Brock record on the horizon, man. I love your music, dude. Like,
thanks, man. Yeah, the latest one, the Once Upon a Bottle of Rum, that record was the end of my tumultuous times and you know the cruise ship life and all that came with that, and that was really all the songs that came out of that entire experience. And you know, ever since then, like, you know, I mainly blame Jordan for blowing her nose on the podcast.
You're making me tear up.
Oh, that's what it is. I blame her for being literally the coolest chick on earth, and I'm so content and happy that I like music is less of an escape than it is a way to continue this awesome life that we have together. So, not to get super mushy, but you know, it's the truth, man.
right?
Like,
I'm content and happy song. Like,
yeah.
That genre does exist. Like,
it does.
Yeah, I'm content and happy. Like, I mean, you've got this very like, it's like you've got this Jimmy Buffett vibe meets like you're a good guitar player.
Shame.
Like, I mean, just like the whole like Florida lifestyle, like you've got that vibe, like that Florida island vibe, but you like a really good guitar player, so there's like a little bluesiness mixed into your music. So like you could just write like happy songs. Like, it's not hard to be happy.
I guess, Bob Green. I guess it's easy to write happy songs. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing, man. Well, I'm gonna give it a shot, man. I'm going to.
I'll write with you if you want, man. We'll write together.
Don't you threaten me with a good time,
dude. I'm down.
Awesome. I need to come up and visit you one of these days, and soon. I miss it up there. We gotta get together and have a drink and chat. And chat in person. This is great, but it's always good to meet up. Well, you guys, we're gonna move into our next segment, and it is that time of the night. Jordan, what time is it?
It is Shameless Plugs.
Shameless Plugs. Well, you guys, we're going to let our special guest, Bob Green, kick off our Shameless Plugs tonight. Bob, tell us what we should be looking for, when we should be looking for it, and where we can find everything Bob Green.
So yeah, look for the Kickstarter. We're really close to our goal. I don't know what's happened, but look for the Kickstarter. Really close to our goal. You can find it on Facebook.com/BobGreenMusic or Instagram.com/BobGreenMusic. The shirt that you can get is really rad. It was designed by Dan Jones Tattoo, who's over in London. Does a lot of stuff for Sullen Clothing. That's how I found him. Or get the new record, multicolored vinyl, like kind of like it's gonna hopefully look kind of like a sunset over water on the vinyl. That's all I got,
dude. I'm so stoked about. Oh man, my keyboard is giving me some shit tonight. It's like popping over to cameras that don't exist. Anyway, I'm super stoked about that vinyl and how dope it's gonna look. So we'll definitely be checking out for that. And we're gonna put a link to that Kickstarter in the show notes for this show. So if you guys are listening to that, go check that out. And even watching it on YouTube or wherever you're watching the rerun, you can go check that out. Jordan, any shameless plugs for you tonight?
No.
No shameless plugs for Kleenex?
I'll let you take it away. They're actually facial tissues.
Ah, yes, for your face.
Yes.
Where your nose is.
Yes, for your noses.
Perfect.
Yes. I'll let you cover them tonight.
Perfect.
Thank you for asking, though.
You're so very, very welcome. Well, you guys, my shameless plugs tonight. As always, I'd like to thank you all for hanging with us tonight live. As always, we invite those of you catching the rerun to join us for our live shows on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wherever you're tuning in, please like, share, follow, and subscribe to the show. A huge shout out to our sponsors and partners at The Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, the Treasure Coast Rum Cake Company, Todd and Laura at tcnightlife.com, the best live entertainment calendar on the Treasure Coast, Snorkel Corn Entertainment, Treasure Coast Entertainment, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, and Drizzly. Well, you guys, I've got a few shows coming up this weekend. You can catch me tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. at Manatee Island in Fort Pierce. On Friday night, I will be at Hop Life Brewing at 7 p.m. On Saturday afternoon, I will be at Costa de Esta Resort in Vero Beach at 2 p.m. And rounding out my short but wonderful work week, I will be at our friends, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart. I will be there at 2 p.m. So please come and check me out at my one-man band show. What else do I have going on? Other shameless plugs. You guys, if you haven't checked out the JNC Radio, or our JNC Radio, you're missing out. We're spinning the best local music, including music from Bob Green, and we are mixing it with the best indie pop and hit tunes that you're going to find anywhere on earth in your ear holes. Tune in on the free Live 365 app or on the JNC mobile app. Speaking of the JNC mobile app, it's here in all of its glory. Check out our local entertainment calendar powered by TC Nightlife. Listen or watch the podcast and tune in to JNC Radio right from the app. It's free from the App Store and Google Play. Check it out. It's awesome. It's awesome. A few other podcasts to check out. Our good friend Paul, who's just tuning in at the Drums and Rums podcast. Go check him out. The 561 Music Podcast. Living and Loving with Monique McCall and Being a Musician with Flint Blade. These shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. This has been my Shameless Plugs. Oh, thank you. Well, you guys, as we're winding down the show here, I want to thank you all again for hanging with us tonight. I certainly had a blast. Give it up once again for our friend and special guest, Mr. Bob Green.
You cry like a martyr, you sing like a saint. I give you all that I got, and you throw it away. You kiss like a dragon, it's fiery to taste. Spit out your demons, lay this out in waste. You turn the page like a fairy tale. Little do you know that you're trapped in hell. I'm your own mind, you left behind. Oh, it haunts you and keeps you confined. The night bears don't fade. Stay and just turn on the lights. See nothing there, just brings on your house. You heard about the ghosts in your class. You let them hear tonight. Well, don't you worry, darling, I will come soon. The sun is winning his battle with the moon. You go to sleep, then I'll be rise. And we'll drift away just like shifting some house you heard about. Go see your closet. Who let them in tonight? 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 It's the way, scared. Turn on the lights to see nothing said. Just bring some house you heard about. Go see your closet. Go let them out this night. Yes, don't be so scared. You turn on the lights. See nothing said. Just bring some house you heard about. Go see your closet. Who let them in tonight? Who let them in tonight? Who let them in tonight? Who let them in tonight?
I'll tell you, dude. Ghost is one of my favorite tunes from you, man. And that goes way back.
Yeah.
Way back. Because that was on Pop versus Soul, but that was a song that you had been doing way before that record, right?
Yeah, it was on the record before, but I just never felt like it was produced right. And then I got the chance to record with Justin Beckler.
Oh,
And
so good. So good.
yeah.
Well, you guys, once again, give it up for our special guest, Mr. Bob Green. Thanks for being here, man.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. Anytime you enjoy you want to come up and stay in Orlando, we've got the spare room for you. So just hit me up, buddy.
Awesome. We'll definitely take you up on that.
Oh,
Either
thank
way,
you.
we got to get together, man, and collaborate, have a drink, play some music. We're definitely pull
Go
together.
to Disney World.
Yeah, go to Disney World. I think we're definitely. I want to pull together the Yacht Pub reunion. We should pull that together and get Brett and Tim and CJ and all those guys back together and maybe have a jam somewhere up your way. But
I'll have the bottle of scotch ready for you, my man.
oh,
Yes.
don't threaten me with a good time, you guys. Give it up for my partner in crime, is Jordan Taylor. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Well, you guys, join us next week for another fun episode of Jams and Cocktails. Until then, drink some water, have a little faith, and be on the lookout for Back to Neverland from Bob Green, broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge. I'm Brad Brock. Good night.
So, here we go.